Kimberly couldn't believe.
The song you're listening to right now is Clipping Story 7 from their 2019 album, There Existed an Addiction to Blood. It has a ton of interesting rhythmic devices, like these repeating irregular bars, these beat switches, in a sort of global additive rhythm, where the first verse and chorus is in 5, and the second verse and the chorus is in 7, and then it just goes kind of nuts. But the thing I want to focus on in this video is this little transition to what you might call the bridge. You hear the ending of the second chorus in 7, then you hear it suddenly drop tempo into a more conventional halftime 4/4. But when you listen carefully, you'll notice that it doesn't quite follow that halftime feel. Listen to this transition with the metronome over it.
Knows just where to go now and they leave it up, cap. He say, is this the type of thing where he pay? And if so, he gon' need a rain check. She say, you can have this one for free, babe. She licked her lips and started biting.
It would be fair to assume from any other band that this might not be a specific or intentional thing, and that someone could write this section with a loose or feel-based instruction, like slow down but not exactly, or half time but push it a little. But Clipping has a tendency to write interesting, intentional rhythmic devices into their music, like the building additive rhythms of Story 2, which came out 5 years before this track. So there's a good chance that there's a specific rhythmic device going on here, and there's also a good chance that Clipping gives you some kind of a clue to figure it out. And it turns out there is. In the 2 bars before the tempo change, there's a low bass thing that comes in once at the downbeat, and then again somewhere in the middle of the bar.
Cynthia knows just where to go now and they leave it up, cap.
This bass thing splits the bar exactly in half, which, depending on how you write the bar, can be 4.5 big beats or 10.5 little beats, since the second chorus is in a compound 7 meter. Basically, it doesn't follow the way that the meter flows here, it splits the Veed's line in kind of an awkward place. So why is it here? It's because this is how the tempo change happens. This awkward bass thing in the chorus is the exact same tempo as the continuing bass thing in the bridge. This is the hint that Clipping gives you. There's a metric modulation where 7 small beats in the previous section equals 8 in the next. I'll explain what a metric modulation is in a later video if y'all want, but in short, it's a tempo change that results from an uncommon or irregular beat equivalence. For that reason, it's sometimes called a tympanic modulation. Look up Elliott Carter, and if you hate yourself, it's close to a halftime, it's just a little bit faster. Technically, it's a 4/7 time, which isn't really the nomenclature that anyone uses for this stuff. It's just kind of fun to see what the equivalence would be. If none of that makes any sense, that's okay. It doesn't have to make sense, which is what makes this example from Clipping so beautiful. It takes these really interesting quote-unquote high-concept rhythmic ideas and presents them in a way that's so subtle that you might miss them. And if you miss them, that's okay because it's still a great song. But if you do hear it, it's a little treat that Clipping rewards you for listening deeply and carefully. These shorter videos will usually be about a narrow topic, a specific song or rhythm or harmony or whatever. Subscribe if you want to, follow me on Twitch. That's all I have. Listen to Clipping. Bye.